What's up, guys? My name is Brandon. You guys can call me Swifterrs, and welcome back to a brand new Fortnite video here on my channel. Today I am coming at you guys with a super exciting video because in today's video we're going to be taking a look at all of the most recent news and information that's recently surfaced about Fortnite over these past 24 hours or so. Now, of course, before we do get started with today's video, I wanted to go ahead and remind you guys that if you guys are buying skins in the item shop right now, to make sure that you guys use my supporter creator code Swifterrs. So just go ahead and plug that code in to the Fortnite item shop. It helps me, it helps you. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and get started with the video. And the very first newsworthy thing for today's video is in regard to another Season 7 teaser. So earlier this morning, Fortnite posted this over on Twitter. They said a frigid day dawns 2 days to Season 7. Of course, with this teaser image that they supplied, it's actually a close-up or a zoomed-in version of the small character that we originally could see in yesterday's Fortnite Season 7 teaser. So of course, with this image, you guys can actually clearly see that we have this character who appears to be skiing or snowboarding down an ice mountain, and this is most likely another one of our Season 7 Battle Pass skins. Now, with this close-up image, we actually can see a little bit more detail within this character. Now, at first look, this character kind of reminds me of a female Drift. Obviously, the Drift is a skin that came to Fortnite back in the Season 5 Battle Pass. On top of that, it kind of reminds me of a ninja theme skin because it looks like we can actually see some tied back bandana on the back of this character's head, sort of flapping in the wind. At the same time, if you guys were to go ahead and look at the claws on this character, it actually looks like this character has claws. So overall, this is a very peculiar looking teaser, a very interesting looking skin, and of course, I can only assume that this is most definitely yet another character included within our Season 7 Battle Pass. But not only do we have this character shown in the teaser, we can actually see in the very back left-hand side, there actually appears to be yet another character shown, and I can only assume that tomorrow, when we receive another teaser for Season 7, it's going to be a close-up of that character, and maybe there's going to be another character in the background of that one. But of course, that is a super awesome teaser, and of course, we are just a couple of days away from the release of Season 7, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next newsworthy item for today's video, and this is also in regard to Season 7, more specifically the landscape changes expected to come to Fortnite, being the brand new snowy location or the snow biome. So surprisingly, starting today, snow has actually started to fall on the Fortnite spawn island. We can actually see that if you guys are just standing waiting for the battle bus to load, you can actually see flakes of snow slowly sprinkling and falling down in front of your face. And it's pretty interesting because this is the first time that we've ever had any sort of dynamic weather element added in to Fortnite Battle Royale. And of course, over these past couple of weeks, there have been a ton of teasers and a ton of leaks that have recently surfaced, further suggesting that snow is absolutely confirmed to be coming to Fortnite. So of course, as we get closer and closer to the release of Season 7 and closer to the release of that holiday themed update, which is expected to drop sometime later in this month of December, it definitely makes sense that snow has officially started to fall on the Fortnite map. Even though it's just falling at the spawn island right now, it's very much going to start falling all across the entire Fortnite map, and that will eventually lead in to Season 7. And overall, seeing snowfall right now, it definitely makes me super excited for that snowy location or that snow biome, which is almost confirmed to be coming to the Season 7 map. But of course, moving on to our next newsworthy thing for today's video, this isn't really anything coming to Fortnite. It's not any leaks, it's not any new concepts. This is actually something I found to be super interesting, and that's in regard to Fortnite's Slurp Juice. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that the Slurp Juice was the very first new item added into Fortnite, or it was at least one of the very first new items. Within the top 2, maybe even top 3 items that have been added to Fortnite, this was definitely one of the first OG items that Epic Games had introduced into Fortnite Battle Royale back in 2017, but it actually looks like Fortnite Slurp Juice could potentially become a real drink. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely think that Fortnite would be even more successful than it is already if it actually started to legitimately sell things like Slurp Juices, or they actually started to make food, or they actually started to make drinks. Imagine you guys could go to a Fortnite food store, get a Slurp Juice, get a Burger, get some pizza from the Tomato Town or the Tomato Temple, whatever it is. I definitely think it would be a super crazy and a really cool, fun experience. But the reason why a lot of people are under the assumption that some Slurp Juice may be made into a real life thing is because Donald Mustard, one of the lead creative developers over at Fortnite, posted this on Twitter. So someone tweeted him saying, if Epic Games made a soda called Slurp Juice, that equals game over. And then Donald Mustard, quote, retweeted that, and he said, thinking face emoji. So it is extremely interesting just because Donald Mustard has actually teased a ton of things regarding things coming to Fortnite, whether that's new weapons, new skins, new locations, and could he potentially be teasing a real life Slurp Juice? I don't know, but I definitely found that to be super interesting, and I definitely thought it was worth sharing with you all. Moving on to yet another very interesting thing. This is in regard to shotguns. And now, ever since Fortnite came out, there was a couple of months where shotguns appeared to be super balanced. Back in the day, when double pump was alive, when you could switch from one shotgun to another in a matter of milliseconds to double pump your enemy, I personally thought that all the way back then, that's when shotguns were the most balanced in Fortnite. And since then, people have just constantly been complaining about how unbalanced shotguns are, how the damage isn't really representative of how many shots you're hitting, and it actually looks like Epic Games is working to fix Fortnite's phantom shot issues. Personally, I receive the phantom shot issues mostly when I'm using shotguns, which is why I'm sort of declaring that this is a fix to shotguns. And basically, this phantom shot issue is when you shoot at an enemy, you don't get any damage, but you get hit markers. This happens a lot when you guys get in a very close firefight, and maybe you actually end up knocking someone and you try to thirst your enemy. If you guys are playing duos, you're playing squads, you try to thirst them, but you don't even actually get any damage to them. You waste bullets, you get hit markers, but there's no damage. So it looks like Epic Games is actually planning on releasing a fix to go ahead and work on that phantom shot, and hopefully that balances out shotguns a little bit more, because as I said, right now they are really just not balanced. And then you go ahead and add this phantom shot issue that's currently going on, and that's been plaguing Fortnite Battle Royale for a pretty long time. It definitely makes for some pretty unfair fights, so hopefully Epic Games resolves this very soon. Moving on to yet another pretty interesting thing. This is in regard to the Season 7 Battle Pass skin, and one skin particular that we will most likely see. And now, I don't know about you guys, but when I first saw this skin a couple of months ago, I was so excited for it to officially be released into the item shop. The skin that I'm talking about is the onesie. So for those of you who have been watching my channel or have just sort of been within the Fortnite community over these past months or so, you guys definitely remember when the onesie skin was leaked in the game files. The onesie skin was leaked, and a lot of people were super excited for it to actually come to the game. Unfortunately, Epic Games actually removed it from the game files, but it actually looks like it's resurfaced within the Fortnite game files, and it's very possible that the onesie skin, the skin that in my opinion looks so awesome, it actually looks like the onesie may be a skin included in the Season 7 Battle Pass. I don't know about you guys, but I would be so excited, and I would be really happy if the onesie was actually a skin available in the Season 7 Battle Pass. And if it's not, I really hope that Epic Games plans on releasing this skin into the item shop very soon, or soon after Season 7 releases. But it's just pretty interesting because the onesie was a skin that was leaked a while back, then it was taken out of the game files, and recently the onesie has actually resurfaced. So a lot of people are under the assumption that the onesie will be coming to the Season 7 Battle Pass. Continuing on to our next skin, this is a pretty awesome skin concept. I would personally love to see Epic Games introduce into the game. This is sort of a reskin version of the Raptor. As you guys can see, this one here is called the Slayer. As I mentioned, it's basically just a reskin version of the Raptor, but rather than it having the key characteristics and the key colors that the Raptor originally has, this one obviously is red. And it's honestly a very festive skin, and obviously it makes a ton of sense considering we are closely approaching Christmas and all of the other winter holidays. So having a Slayer reskinned version of the Raptor. Definitely looks super awesome, and I would love to see Epic Games introduce this particular skin into Fortnite. So guys, it was honestly a little bit difficult to find enough newsworthy things to cover in today's video, but please be sure to let me know your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback about all of the things that we covered in today's video in the comment section below. While you guys are at it, please be sure to drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new. As I mentioned in the beginning of today's video, make sure that you guys use my support a creator code Swifterrs in the Fortnite item shop. If you guys support me and you enjoy the content here on my channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys were to go ahead and use my code Swifterrs in the Fortnite item shop. And if you guys just so happen to use my code, make sure that you guys take a picture of it and tweet it to me so I can go ahead and retweet it over on Twitter. The link to my Twitter is in the description below. Regardless, guys, that is going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be sure to catch you guys later.